Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is, actually I don't know what day it is, but we're gonna go take a blind down. So this is not my blind, it's my buddy's blind. It's a big old box blind. It's a muddy. We gotta go take the wooden frame down, and then we gotta go take the whole entire setup down from the cage. So pretty much an all-day project. Well, we got the blind down. It's kind of a the guy who owns the land, we got his tractor, the Mossy Ferguson. We got some forks on it. We took the blind right from the tower and we just slid it right on the forks. But I got to stand on the forks because they'll slide off. So yeah, Trey's operating. We're loving it out here. So step one is done. Now we got to take the whole freaking tower down. So that's gonna be fun. Me and Trey got the blind taken down, and Drew helped us out a lot. We just kind of had to move it from, you know, point A to point B. Trey kind of wanted it moved, and you know, it was kind of in a difficult spot to kill deer from. So yeah, we'll see. I'm heading up to my farm now. I kind of want to check and see and kind of plan, you know, on different kinds of things for my food plot. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, but we kind of want to do some greens for sure. I was thinking about radishes on one side and maybe some beans on the other. I don't know. It's hard because it's a wooded area. You know, it's kind of in the backwoods of the timber, and you can't really get, you know, a whole lot to grow back there. So we almost need, you know, some no-till, no sunlight type deal. And sometimes even that doesn't grow, so we might have no choice than just to plant oats or clover or something, which is not bad, but I'd rather have, you know, something that's kind of foreign to them, that, you know, they haven't really had before. You know, I'm just trying to attract deer. All right, folks, we made it to the farm. So this is, I'm not gonna tell you guys the names, but we call it Liggins Farm, corner farm, whatever you want to call it, because it sits on a corner. It's a cool little farm. So we're walking in now. This is the trail here to walk in. You can't really tell because you know, there's really nothing on the ground here. I got a camera right here at the entrance, right before the road. You know, just if we capture somebody coming in or whatever, trespassing, we do have it on camera. There's a lot of trees that are down on here too, which kind of sucks, but that's okay, because yeah, that's just any farm you go to has a lot of trees down, I feel like. So this is actually me and Trey's farm. We hunt this together. We've hunted it since, man, when did we start hunting this? I want to say, well, actually this year will be 4 years. So 4 years we've been hunting this farm. It's about 40 acre timber. I'm sorry, it's 40 acres in total, but I'd say about maybe 10 to 12 are tillable, and that's just because obviously they have a crop field, a cornfield. So that's actually surrounded by a cornfield to the east, a cornfield to the south, and a hay or clover cover crop field to the west. And yeah, I try to I mean, it is a small parcel. It's not the biggest parcel, so I don't have a ton of room to hunt down here, if you know what I mean. So I gotta kind of be, you know, it's hard to be picky, but you just kind of have to figure it out with what you got. Right here we made a, you can't tell because there's leaves on it, but there's actually rock right here. And what we did is we filled it up with rock so we could drive our you know, side by side, four-wheeler over it and stuff like that. Because this is a little you know, kind of creek bottom right here. It doesn't hold any water, so it's more like a freaking ditch. But sometimes when it rains, it'll flood over, and we just filled this with rock because we thought it would, you know, it'd stay pretty firm, and it's held up pretty good. You know, if this wasn't here, it'd be, you know, really sunken, kind of like down there, and you know, it was kind of tough to get an ATV back here with like a wagon, and you know, it kind of made it tough. That's kind of why we put that there, is to help us out with that. This is a very, very hilly property. I'm actually walking at like a 45-degree angle, if you can't see, going up. Yeah, it's hilly out here, but it makes it cool. It gives it a good little touch, you know. And I'm not complaining. I love this property so much, and I'm very fortunate that the landowners, you know, let us hunt out here. And you know, I've known one of the landowners for a while, and she was actually my teacher in school, so I'm kind of spoiled there on what I can and can't do out here. So, and they're nice people, they're great people, and you know, they love that we love this sport so much. But yeah, it's pretty cool up here. So right now I'm walking up to my main stand. So me and Trey kind of take one side, and I hunt this side, and he kind of hunts that side, sets it up however he wants, and I set this side up kind of however I want. That doesn't mean we can't go over to each other's stands and hunt. It just, you know, we kind of pick a side, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, I can come out here and sit in his stand whenever I want, and he can come out and sit in mine. It's free range to us, but we just decided to pick different sides. Just so you guys can see this a little better, this is my stand. It's a hanger. It's also a double set. So this side of the timber is actually the first side we started hunting on. It actually was not this tree. The first tree I ever hunted on was actually this tree right here. This tree right here is the first tree that I started hunting on. It was a 15-foot ladder stand, and it faced that way, which would be east. So this is a cool little setup. I think what I'm going to do this year is hang some camera arms, or maybe Trey can help me film this year, and we can film some pretty cool hunts. So I know you guys can't see anything, but this is my food plot. I know it doesn't really look like a food plot because there's leaves all over it, but it is. My food plot starts about right there, and it goes all the way around, and it actually shoots down there, comes back around, and it goes right here in this big circle. Right there, and it stops at this tree right here, and it goes to about right here, and then it comes around, and that's where it is, right in front of this tree. I would say it might be, I don't know, less than a quarter acre. It's a cool little plot, and when I started hunting here I didn't actually have a food plot, so this was actually made, I want to say 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago we ended up making this, and it was a lot of work, but it was also a lot of fun. You know, sometimes hunting's almost more exciting, or I'm sorry, I think getting ready for hunting is almost more exciting than the actual hunt itself. So I actually did have another stand set up, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not, here it is, it's this one right here. So we had a stand, a ladder stand on this tree right here that you guys are looking at. I think this is an oak tree. We had a tree stand on this one. It was a little ladder stand, and it faced into my food plot. It was just kind of a second angle, because sometimes I would have deer come back here and walk up, and I'm a righty, so it would be kind of, it'd be kind of tough to shoot there. So we didn't really hunt that much. It was a cool stand to sit. You saw, I saw deer. I saw plenty of deer. I just never got to kill one. Actually, I had a deer one morning. I actually fell asleep and had a deer come right here. And I was sitting right there, and I woke up, and it was actually a little button buck. And yeah, that was that kind of got my heart going. I actually jumped when I got up and spooked him away. So don't fall asleep when you're in the tree stand, because stuff like that will happen, and it's unfortunate. So alrighty, this is what we call the sanctuary. This ground, this stand right here, is one of my favorite stands. So I'm down for the stand, and I'm walking north. And I kind of wanted to show you guys where I kind of wanted to put a little water hole down here. And I'm actually pretty close to the house right here, as you can see. But this, we've planted things here in the past. We've planted clover in here. We've planted turnips. They didn't really turn out good because it's low light. It doesn't look like it now because it's the winter's almost over, but it is low light in here, so it's kind of hard to grow kind of the things you want. But we were thinking about putting a water hole in here, just kind of digging, just maybe a 6 feet deep or something, and just not that big in diameter, just a nice I don't know, 5 foot by 5 foot radius pond, little water hole, if you want to call it that, not even a pond. And I don't know, I've kind of been wanting to do that. The only problem with that is there is already water access on the neighboring farm. The neighbor actually has a really big pond. I'm not sure how big it is, but it's a good sized pond. I don't know if it really makes sense to put a water hole down here, just because there's already one, right next door. But I could also argue that, those deer are hanging out on that farm more than here, and that's not really where I want them. But I don't know yet. We haven't really got that far yet in discussing on really what we want with that. But that's fine. We'll figure it out as time passes, and us kind of trying to get more comfortable with the ground, because they're still pretty new to this farm. We've only been hunting it for 3 years, so it's pretty new to us still. All right, we're back in the truck. We just got back. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was pretty fun to do. It's pretty tiring, but ain't nothing like a good walk in the woods, in the timber. But yeah, that'll about wrap it up. I don't really have much more to say. Like I said, I didn't show you guys all of the timber, but because that would take me forever. But I'll show you guys in the near future on what it's like, and I'll kind of go in a little more depth with it. But that was just kind of a simple run through, and just kind of show you, just kind of start off the channel, and I thought that would be kind of a good intro to show you guys what I got going on. And I'll post tips and tip videos, and you know, different stuff like that, and, you know, kind of show you guys kind of how I do it. Not that it really matters, but, you know, maybe it'll help someone out that's just getting started. And, you know, me, I'm not the best, so I still watch, you know, Jury Outdoors, Shout Out Jury Outdoors. I like watching Midwest Whitetail. You know, they're fun to watch. Sequin's always a good option. You know, all these guys, just pick someone that you like and a channel that you really, you know, you kind of see a connection between you and, you know, kind of the person filming.